Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a quick process video on how I made my crisscross card and for the MyCreativeTime sneaky peek. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this with you guys together. And let me just show you everything I used. Let's make this so this doesn't take forever. So I used the new bow die. This is the largest one. I used the Snowflake Doily. I used the medium size. The snowflakes, I used the two smaller ones. I used the Frosty Friends ephemera and the Snowflake Wishes. And I apologize for the glare, guys. Paper pad. Okay, so that's everything that I used. Okay, and I don't know if I mentioned the measurements of the card, I believe. Okay, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is this crisscross card. Okay, so this is an 8 1/2 by 11 110 cardstock from Michaels. I use their heavyweight. It's my favorite from them, and they're always my base. I use this one for my base on my cards all the time. So on your 8 1/2 inch side, let me make sure. Okay, on the 8 1/2 inch side, you're gonna want to cut this piece exactly right down the middle. Half of 8 1/2 is 4 1/4. So you're just gonna slide your cardstock over, and at 4 1/4, make sure you don't do 4 1/2. Do 4 1/4, and then cut down. I'm not gonna cut this one because I already did that. I just wanted to show you on a solid sheet that you're gonna cut this right in half, and you're gonna need both pieces, okay? So when you get both pieces, okay, you're gonna have the two, let me turn it this way, on your 11-inch side, okay? So on your 11-inch side, you're gonna score half. So half of 11 is 5 1/2. So you're gonna score at 5 1/2 on both pieces, okay? You're gonna take down 11, and then you're gonna score at 5 1/2 on both pieces, okay? So this is where the tricky part is how to angle cut, okay? So when you have your two pieces, here, let me do this so my bracelets don't hit the thing all the time, okay? So when you have these two right here, you want to pay attention and lay them on top of each other, because this square piece in the middle is gonna go right on top, and then you're gonna have the two pieces here. You know that your angle cut is gonna have to go this way because it needs to cross this way. Then you know your angle cut's gonna have to be the exact same way on this one so that it crosses over. If you start taking it and then you're just like not realizing and you're not paying attention, this can happen. That would make actually kind of a cool card if I think about it. But anywho, so yeah, you just want to get your card, and the one right down the middle where you have that score mark, okay, where you scored, you are gonna cut from the very point of that score mark all the way down to the corner, and you got to angle it. So let me see if I can. So when you do it, you're gonna see here's the top part of the score mark. This is where my blade cuts, okay? So I need to line this up to the very point of that and make sure that it's even all the way through. Then you get it, and I do not ever, on these, I don't go this way up where it's pointy because it'll push the paper up and bend it and rip it. I've done it so many times. So I start from here and then I go all the way down, and then that will give me this piece, okay? You're gonna keep these pieces, okay? And you're gonna do that on both cards. So now I have the one, oops, this goes this way. And then I'm gonna get the other cardstock, and then I'm gonna make sure to angle cut it this way. You got to make sure you pay attention on where you're doing your angle cuts. So I cut it this way, I grab this one, and I'm gonna cut it this way. So just make sure you're checking how you're doing that. Okay, so then once that's done, we are going to go ahead and let's do these angle pieces. So these right here, what I do, and there's plenty of girls that do them differently. These crisscross cards have been around for a super long time. Okay, so here is the one piece that's on my right side, right? So what I'll do is I'll grab my full sheet and I'll put it at the very corner all the way to where it matches. And then I will go ahead and I will cut it exactly at that measurement, okay? Then when you have that piece, this piece right here, what I do is I will get this piece. I already pre-cut it, so it's gonna look the way I want it right now. But I will sit there and I will push it over a little like this. And imagine this one's not been cut yet. Okay, so I make sure that I see how I want it. And again, I'm eyeballing because I can see here, I can see here that it looks even to me, and then I cut. So I'll do this, I'll get my scissors and I'll cut this one little sliver off. And then when you cut that piece off, then it goes right in the middle on all sides. Okay, how I want it. And that's how I do it. There's girls that will do it and they will get on the, they will get this and then they will use like a pencil mark to do it. That doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe I'm just stuck on stupid and I don't get it. But for me, it just works easy if I cut the exact piece out of the paper to where the measurement's the same. Then I have the triangle that will be the exact same, these two, and then I just push it up a little bit on how much I want it to hang over like that, and I make sure it's even on all sides, and I just cut the one off. And then it gives me a perfect one, and I do that for both sides, okay? So then when that part is done, what I do, and then this is how it will look, because this is the side I'm gonna use. All right, and let's see if I can do this without, and then we'll add this piece on here. Okay, now this isn't all aligned because I'm just laying it on top, but, and it works perfect for me. This is just what works for me, okay? So that is this part. Now I use a cardstock for back here, which is gonna be a different piece, a different color. So this one right here is 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. And then it will be what goes here. Okay. And I'll have it aligned here. Oops. I do not do it. I'm going to show you right now. Okay. So this is all you're going to see. You're not going to see anything in the bottom. The reason why I don't, you see down here has more space, is because I'm going to have to glue at the very bottom right here, and that's going to go right here. If I add this, it makes it thicker down here. So this way it goes and it stays, you know, as flat as it possibly can. And then I'm going to have to glue just the very bottom here, and then it'll be like that. So I only care about here. Nobody's going to ever see the bottom part down here of that piece. Okay. So again, let's go over this inside measurement piece one more time. It is 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. Okay. 5 1/4. All right. And then also too, we need the inside part of the card, which is this part when you pull it out. Okay. Mine is measured at 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. That is going to be the inside piece. So we'll leave that over there. We'll leave this piece here and these ones right here for now. And then we're gonna go ahead and take away that part. And the glitter cardstock I use is the Doodlebug that you can get from Hobby Lobby. Now it does, you see it does shed the glitter. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it, but I just love that. I love that glitter cardstock. It cuts beautifully with the dies. I absolutely love it. It just stinks that it, you know, that it sheds like that. So anywho, let me make sure. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna adhere. I'm just gonna use, this is the one I use from Hobby Lobby. I love this roller tape. Now, what I will tell you though, this works because of this cardstock I'm using. There's like a fine type of gloss type of finish on Emma's cardstock. So you don't want to use this. It won't hold it permanently. So you would want to use like a liquid adhesive. But this does hold very good. It's a permanent adhesive. It's just that there's a certain type of finish on here that doesn't allow this to bond with it very well. So, all right. So all we're gonna do is layer this on top of it. Good gracious. All right. And just do your best to angle it. Oh shoot. Let me do it this way. This way I think will work a lot better. Oops. It's so hard to see that it's white on white. Okay. There we go. And you just want to make sure you can still fold it over, so just don't get it over that score mark. Okay, so now here she is. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and do the back piece. All right, and I want the lighter side. So we're gonna, I think I have, and this is the Nuvo. This is like my favorite liquid adhesive. I think I have something stuck in there because it's never this hard to do. So let me see if I can. It's almost at the very end. So unfortunately, it's always the hardest to get it. But I like to use every little bit of it. Okay. Now, make sure that I get it as much as I can in here and make that it's kind of close to the edge, but not super close to the edge to where when you press it down, it oozes out. And I'm guilty of doing that on a constant basis. So let me not let you think that I get it right all the time, because I don't. All right. And then the good thing about the liquid is it gives you wiggle room. And this is how much I want it to see over. Okay. Forgive my nail. I don't know if I mentioned it just a minute ago, but I broke it off on accident messing around with my son's dogs, and I broke it all the way back, and these are my nails, so it looks so bad. Ugh. All right, so then when we cover it this way, all right, let me make sure that it's scored. There we go. All right, so this is how it'll look, so that there's like a little tiny border, which is good for me. All right. Just make sure. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do, how do I want this? I think I want it this way. Okay, so I'm gonna add adhesive only to the very bottom. Okay. Then before I do the other side, I need to put the panel. That'll be this piece, okay? And I want it to be the lighter side of the snowflakes. I love the gray. I like that she added the gray. It's not a color, well, it's a gray, but it's not a color that you normally see, and I love it. It's perfect for silver, if you wanted to add silver in your project. All right, so we have stuck. And then we'll cross it over like this. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add adhesive to the very bottom down here. Oops. Okay. And we're going to get this other layering piece and add it on top. Okay. Then we'll add this way. So now we have this part done, and you see how at the bottom it's already got a thickness to it. Now had I made that inside piece to go all the way down, it would have even been thicker, and that's what I don't want. If you choose to do it that way, that's completely your preference. It's not like there's a right or wrong to doing this. It's really whatever works for you, as long as you get your card to crisscross the right way. Okay, so then this will be what goes here, and this will be what goes on top. Okay, so what I do, oh, and I probably should have, no, that's fine. Did I add adhesive foam? I did. Okay, so what I did is I added foam all the way, adhesive, these square pieces. Okay, and I do it all the way across. Because I just want these to stick on, because remember, there is like a coating on there. I love the Dollar Tree, this foam. It's so good. I've used it for years. Okay. So then make sure that's in there good. Then we'll go ahead and take off the topping, the top pieces, I mean. And then here we go. And then we're going to put some more of the liquid glue. All right. Oops. Then I'm going to angle it, because I don't want this to hang over the card. So I make sure that before I push it down that it's not going past that. And then I like to angle it to where I can see it's even, instead of, you know, it's up to you. It's just my own preference. I like to make sure that the two little scallops down here are going straight. And then I'll just push it down. Okay. All right. The next one, we're going to do the same, except here, let me go ahead and And we're gonna get some of these again, but this time I'm gonna have it as much as I can on all pieces that are underneath where the little dots are. Okay. So you just want to make sure you see that there's little dots right there. You want to make sure that the tape doesn't go past that, so you don't see any of the tape through the little holes. So just stay in the solid part of the doily. It's a good thing nobody can see our work behind the scene. All right. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some more liquid glue. All right, and then we're just gonna set this on top. Okay. Okay. All right. So here is where we're at so far. Okay. Then this is where I have these snowflakes, and this is kind of where I want to decide how I want it to look, right? How I want it to hang off. So what I do is I'll get the snowflake and I'll cut, and make sure you can see, right underneath. I'll get right in between and I'll cut straight up so that it's exactly coming over. Oops. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, okay, then I'm gonna cut these little pieces off right here. And then take these two little pieces off because it's gonna be at the edge of your, oops. So when it's at the edge, it stays like that and nothing is hanging over. And then I know that this part, I don't have to worry about that, and I can put that like down here if I wanted to. And then here is the second one. So maybe I should keep it like this here, maybe. Or maybe I should do, let's see, does it look this way? We can switch it up however we want, right? Let's see. Then I'm gonna cut the other one the same way. So let's go ahead and just cut these two off at the same time. And you just wanna stay right where that line is and only cut these two little pieces, not that one little end piece, like that, okay? So we have this one sitting here, and I just like to lay them out first before I start, you know, there we go. We could do it that way. So let me marinate on that one for a minute. Let's do to the card. Okay, I'm gonna think about that for a hot second, if I'm gonna like that placement. All right, so we're gonna get now, this is our card base one, okay? And we're gonna build the bow. All right, so I have the glitter cardstock. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use instant gratification hot glue on this one, even though it's never really suggested to do that on glitter cardstock because sometimes it will not hold. Okay, and all I do when I do these is I only put it in the middle square, okay, so that these have where they can be opened. So when I do this side, it's kind of like I pinch it in the middle, so it's kind of like squared. And then I'm off the camera right now, but that's just because I only put the hot glue, just a smidge on there. And this goes at the very bottom. Okay. And then with this bow, there's a centerpiece, and I do use it, okay? This one I will go ahead and put liquid glue. And I'll put it right on the top. Now you will notice it's very slight, but there is this top part, it's a little, let me just put some hot glue on there, and the liquid glue can take its time, but just not right now. We need it to work right now. That one part of it is wider up top. So it's a slight bigger up here, and that's where you know the top part. It's the top of the bow, and this is the bottom of the bow, the smaller one. But you'd have to pay attention. It's because it's very slight. Okay. So now I chose to use the pretty blue. Again, this is just the doodle bug. And then I'm going to use these right here because I love that they have different sizes. And then we're going to put a smidge because we want this to work now. And I like to make sure that my snowflake is up and down. All right. So how beautiful is that bow in the snowflake? It's so pretty. And this is what's gonna go on top of the card. Okay, so this right here is where you wanna pay attention because you only wanna put adhesive on the half bottom part, okay? Because you want this bow, let me show you here, half of it's going to be sticking up, and you don't want anything in the back with glue, okay? So, oops. We're going to go ahead and do our best to keep it at the halfway mark. Okay. And then we're gonna stick it in the middle. Let's move this to the side real quick. And just push it down a little bit so that it holds, so you can flip it over. And then we're going to push this down here. Okay. You know, I swear that when I used to buy this glitter, and that it didn't shed this bad. I feel like it started to do that recently because I don't remember it being this messy. Okay, but anywho, so yeah, so this is how it looks. So you'll see in the back, it looks perfect. Okay, now let's go back to this guy right here. Actually, no, you know what? Let's put the gem in the middle of this one. And of course, I didn't. What kind of gem did I use? Did I use I don't know. Should we use a white? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's put liquid glue in the middle. And then I get these little pearl flat backs from Hobby Lobby as well. How pretty. Okay, so see, it's coming together. All right, let's go ahead and do this one, and we're just gonna start adhering. I'm gonna leave it the way I have it. And of course, liquid glue, whichever liquid glue is your jam, then do that. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna just make sure, I keep it right to the edge of this one. I don't put it at the edge of the actual card. And when I do glue, I kind of try to find the bigger parts where I can put the glue so that, and definitely at the very edge, because if I try doing all the little skinny part, I always over glue and then I just make a mess. Okay. I'm gonna stick this down here. Okay. A little bit of wiggle room works amazing when you use liquid glue. I love it. Okay, so then we're just going to go ahead and do this next one. You're going to love this. If you ended up getting this new release, it's so fun. And too, but you know, for some of you that don't do Christmas, you can use these for your winter winter projects. Okay, so there you go. And then we're going to do this last one. These cards are super fun to do. I love it. And it's perfect for this size paper pack. Because you get to go through it quickly, and that's what I like. You know, you're using so much of it. Okay, so then when we put this in, I'm not sure. I'm gonna be careful because I don't know if that. Tell me that's not gorgeous, guys. Okay, let's move on. All right. So this is where, you know, you kind of gotta do your ephemera. Think of how you want to lay it out. I don't quite know yet. And the cool thing is this ephemera says Merry Christmas on it, but I can put winter wishes right over it and you wouldn't even know. So just so you guys know, I do know there's plenty of people that don't celebrate Christmas, and you can cover stuff like that up. Actually, that might be fine because I just grabbed these other things. It doesn't, you don't want it to be over the top here. So you see mine here. I only have 1, 2, 3. I didn't go ham on it, but you could totally add little gems on the scalp. I mean, you can go crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and I love that the ephemera is laser cut. That is like my favorite ephemera. I wish all craft paper lines did laser cut. Okay, oops. Okay, I'm gonna lightly lay that down just to make sure that when I line everything up that it's right. Okay. Right. And then we have this one right here. And you can tell the laser cut because if you flip it over, I don't know if you're gonna be able to, you can see like little brown marks. That looks like burn marks. I love it. All right, I'm gonna stick you right here. I haven't pushed everything down yet. Should I put you a little higher? Okay. Takes a little bit for the liquid glue to hold on to the glitter cardstock behind it. All right. We're going to stick the winter wishes right over the Merry Christmas. Okay. And let's see, I have... Now you don't have to, this is the part where you can, you know, go crazy and add your blings. In fact, let's see, maybe I should. Oh, you know what? Let's do that. Let's play. All right, let's go ahead. Only because I had them right here and I was thinking that might be really cute. Okay, so I hope it is because we're doing it. We're just gonna randomly put some pearls. I gotta remember where I just put the glue. Okay, here we go. Get another one. Oh, I like it with the pearls. Makes it look fancy. All right. One, two. Just randomly stick them somewhere. Doesn't need to be a rhyme or reason. And of course, you do know this will not go in the mail in an envelope. So you would have to like stick this in the box or hand deliver. Oops. Oh, my stickles just went. All right. Okay, so it's just, I don't like this placement. Let's see if I can fix that. I don't know, do I need to stick 4 or something here? It almost feels like there's not enough. I think I might have to stick a 4th one because it just does, I don't know, this is just me with balance. I don't know if any of you ladies are like that. We're like, wait, that's like an empty spot. I don't think I like that. Okay. So yeah, look at that. We're adding pearls. What? Okay. So now if you're like me, and let me tell you, it's not like I have plenty of glitter everywhere. It's like, really, do you really need more glitter? Well, I do. So I'm just going to show you how I do this because just so that you can, you know, just see the process and see that you can add to the ephemera. I feel like when I do this, it's like I gotta focus. Just put a little bit at the very edges. It doesn't have to be the whole thing unless you want it the whole thing. So kind of just like doing the outline of it. I think it makes it fun if you have a steady hand. And that's good enough for me. I don't feel like I need to, you know, add more than that. I mean, if you wanted to, you could easily do the whole beanie or something. And this is Stardust. I get my stickles from Frank Garcia Studio. And then this is the card, guys. I didn't do the back. Make sure I'm not. So it's up to you if you want to add another piece to the back, because I did on this one. I added a piece to the back, but it's not necessary. So this is my 2. I hope you had fun. I hope this wasn't too long for you, and that you enjoy this. I hope it was good. If you have any questions, please leave it in the description box, and then I can go ahead and help you if I think I put this in. There we go. If you need any type of assistance, but this is it's a pretty simple way to do these cards. But that is it. Have an amazing and super blessed day, guys, and I will see you later. Bye.